Welcome to the IBM Security Privilege Identity Manager demo. We start with James Smith. James is an application administrator who needs shared access to a Linux system. He starts by logging into the self-service user interface. James goes to view his access, sees that he does not have access to the system he needs, and initiates a request for access. He chooses the Linux System Administrator role, which will grant him access to the Linux system he desires. He puts in the request and then logs out. Chuck Rigel is a manager who can grant such requests. Chuck happens to log into the self-service user interface as well. He sees that there is a request pending for James. He views the request, looks at the instructions, and then approves of James's request. He then logs out of the system. A short time later, James attempts to access the Linux system using PuTTY. He is shown a screen that asks if he wants to use the shared credentials. He says yes. He enters his password and is presented with a list of credential pools. A credential pool is a way to group credentials with similar access privileges. He chooses the credential pool. As you can see, he has been given a shared credential and logged in automatically. He confirms that this is the user he has been logged in with. It is indeed. He now goes and does his work. Meanwhile, on the IBM Tivoli Identity Manager console, we can see the list of shared credentials. As the request goes through, we can see that James Smith has the credential checked out. James also has the option of manually checking out a credential. In this screen, he manually checks out a credential. Again, here's the credential pool he's given, and he gives a justification. As you can see, he's been given a new credential to work with. Back on the console page, if we refresh the screen, we can see that he now has 2 credentials checked out. James can also check in his credential from this screen. He initiates a check-in. When he is done with his work on the Linux system via PuTTY, he exits the screen. That initiates an automatic check-in. As we can see here, both of his credentials have been checked in. Now we can also look at the audit reports for what has just transpired. We are interested in the Shared Access History report for today. We select Today, and we initiate the request. As you can see, here's a list of the different requests and audit records for what has transpired. Here's the most recent one that James has worked on. Thus, we can show the different parts of IBM Security Privilege Identity Manager in action. This ends the demo. Thank you for your time.